good. So now, over here, with the clicker, test it. No. Beautiful. The legs are too. Brings
Give it a couple more minutes. I know it is cold in here, right? Yeah. It's typically, this is the hottest room in the office. Now it's the coldest.
Yeah, I miss the old training room.
Oh, yeah. I think we all do.
Gas. Do we have to do gas too?
If you like. Yeah. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, you?
Man, I just left my phone when I'm a good age. I was like, man, I haven't had
No one took it.
like an hour. Nice. You could have sat down for like 5 minutes and act like you had a call, you know?
Oh God, I gotta add it up now. I got so much expenses, dude.
All right. Who wants to share one of their expenses? We'll go with, anybody want to share? You? Okay. What's your, okay, go ahead.
Any of them, or just any? Like,
The highest and the lowest.
oh, okay. My lowest is car payment. I don't have a car payment. I buy used cars, so I don't have any.
Nice, okay,
I
cool.
just can't afford it, but. And then my highest is probably credit card payment. I think it's like $70 is my highest.
$70? Damn.
Or rent.
Okay.
$200.
$200? So your rent would be your highest
My
expense
rent
right
would
now.
be my
Yeah.
highest one.
200. Okay, cool. Well, I don't think a lot of us are as lucky as Nick to have those low expenses. Let's see. Your expenses. So your monthly expenses. It can be from the lowest, highest, whether you rent, own, car payment, anything like that.
My lowest would probably be my cell phone bill, which is $140.
Okay, 140.
My highest would probably be my mortgage at $1,375.
You have a
And
good
my total
mortgage
monthly
too.
bills come out to about $4,000.
Okay.
That helps.
Total 4.
Great mortgage.
2.7% interest rate, baby.
And then 70. Okay. Anyone else want to share? One more.
I could do it.
Okay. Let's hear it.
My lowest would be like my YouTube music.
Oh,
which
nice.
is like, I don't know, $17, I think.
Okay.
And then my highest would be my share of the rent would be $850.
$850. Oh, nice.
And my monthly expense is $2,005.
Okay, 2,500. That's pretty good.
2005.
2005. Okay, not 500. Nice.
Unless I missed some stuff out.
Okay, so the reason I asked everybody is because everybody has one. Typically, the average person has 2 main payments, which is where you live and what you drive. So as we can see, Nick's, although it's the lowest we have, his share or his monthly rent is $200. JD's is his mortgage. His lowest was his phone, and his mortgage was $1,375, which is a great mortgage actually, but it's his highest expense. And then, what was your name again? I'm sorry. Samara's lowest was her YouTube music, 17, and her rent was $850. So we can all agree that rent or mortgage is going to be one of our highest payments, right? So today I'm going to be talking about house hacking. Who knows what house hacking is? Or an idea, anything like that?
Is that where you take an axe to the house and just hack it?
Not quite.
Okay.
Nick?
From what I understand, house hacking is basically either you have the house that you live in and you have like an additional unit on it, or you buy a house and rent out units in the house, in the property, or rent the whole house out. That pays for the mortgage, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So pretty much what house hacking is whether you buy or own or arbitrage a single family property with many rooms or a multifamily 2, 3, 4 unit or more to offset your mortgage. So that's what I do. My name is Juan Fernandez. Here obviously at Keller Williams Realty. I'm with the All-Star Group. I actually started the business because that was my main goal. To house hack, live for free, and pretty much have my renters pay my mortgage. That's essentially what I do, and I'll go a little more over that into the presentation. Any questions, guys?
Would house hacking be, you don't have to have multi-family.
No,
It
not
can just be a
necessarily.
house with bedrooms.
It can be a house with more than one bedroom that you can be renting out to a friend, family member, put it on Craigslist, have a renter in there. That offsets your mortgage, whether that's 20, 50, or 100%. Okay?
How do you screen your renters?
Screening renters? Well, it honestly depends. It depends, and I'll go a little bit over that in a bit, so keep that in mind. I'll answer your question in a bit. So as I was saying, that's your largest monthly expense, and I'll go over my scenario. So I actually started because I bought a home in California City. Bought a home in Cal City. I was commuting out there for like 6 months, so it's like a 40, 45-minute drive if you're driving like 90 miles an hour like I was. So I did that for 6 months, 6 to 7 months. After that, I rented that one out. My mortgage at that time, I got a rate of 3.12. My mortgage was 15. Originally, I rented the house out for 1,700. Now it's at 19. So I've increased the rents as the years have passed. And it's a Section 8 tenant. So this Section 8 tenant, I get a check from the government the second day of the month, whether it's a holiday, whether it's a weekend, no weekend. So that's something for sure that I'm going to be getting. Doesn't really matter if the tenant loses their job or if they don't pay me their portion. My portion of the mortgage is covered. Okay, of course I want them to pay the whole thing, but you know the main priority is making that mortgage payment. And so I moved down here. I moved back here in Palmdale. I've been living in Palmdale for over 13 years, and I bought a triplex. I actually bought a triplex with my sister. So you can find partners. In this case, it was my sister, and you know I can trust her and always do your due diligence as well when you work with other people, friends, family. So we bought this triplex here, and so there was a main house in the front, and there was 2 units in the back. They were studios. They were in pretty bad shape. One of them had termites on the flooring, so we had to rip the whole flooring out. And then one of the walls from the outside had drywall, so it was like a fixer. The front home also needed a lot of work, but we decided to take it over. And our mortgage started at $2,500, and now it went up to $27 because of taxes, and we all know that. One of the units rents for $1,400. The second unit rents for $1,100. So in total, monthly, our mortgage is pretty much covered 97%, aside from bills. But I'm pretty much living for free on that one. So, yes.
What about your Cal City home? Are you gonna talk about that?
Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
So does that help cover?
Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I think I skipped that part. So Cal City home, my mortgage is $1,500. Now it went up to like $1,520 again because of taxes. But my monthly rental income is $19. So after expenses and everything, I'm netting around $200. But looking at it from a numbers perspective, 15 and 19 is $400. After maintenance, and you gotta cut the weeds and maintenance come up. Yeah, exactly. So I'm probably cash flowing like $200-300 depending.
So,
on a good month, it's the full $400.
So between both of those, you're covering the mortgages.
Both mortgages, yeah. So mortgages, I pay a month a total of $1,500, like $4,200 a month in mortgages.
Have you guys
Which
ever had a client scared to buy, whether because they can't afford where they want to buy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Juan bought his first house in California City, and he commuted down here for how long?
6-7 months?
6-7
Something
months.
like that.
And then he bought the Palmdale one. So and when you bought it, you knew you were going to be up there for a while, right?
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, that was the original plan.
Yeah.
just get into something, rent it out, and then get something else closer. Yeah. So I know it's some people are willing to do that, others are not, but I was willing to, and not to brag or anything, but I do have a 9-year-old. She's soon to be 9 next month. At that time I had a full-time job and I was doing real estate as well. So it's definitely possible. If you put your mind into it and you want to do it, it's possible. And yeah, just plan it out. Just have a plan, have a system that you're going to follow to get to that goal. And obviously I don't want to stop there. I also want to keep building into more investment properties. And as we all know, they appreciate. So now that Cal City home is worth around $310,000, $315,000. So there's like $100,000 in equity there. The Palmdale one, probably looking like 30, 40 grand in equity. So it's honestly, the deals are out there. And this is on MLS. It's not like it was an off market. It was an MLS. I just created the value. But thanks for bringing that up, JD. Yes.
So I'm gonna cut you off this way, but how long was the time frame between your first purchase and the second one? And then when do you intend to get your third one?
6-7 months.
6-7 months?
Yeah,
now?
in
Okay.
between,
You might
yeah.
have to
And,
both.
and they were both FHA, yeah. So the first one obviously FHA. The second one, we used my sister's FHA.
Okay.
So a lot of people have concerns or, oh, I wonder if I can get a second FHA. You certainly can if you partner with someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you on the loan too? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both on the loan.
But because your sister had a bond before, she qualified for that.
Correct, yes, yes.
So the first time you did the primary and the second one she was primary?
Correct,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Correct, yeah. Because of guidelines or whatnot, yeah. But, and going back to your question on the screening of the tenants. So I was a bit skeptical as well, you never know who you're going to get or what you're going to get. Honestly, you need to have a system. I always let them know right when they come see it, because I typically put it on Facebook Marketplace. You're going to have your credit run, you're going to have background check, and you're going to fill out an application before anything. Before that, then we'll decide if you're a best fit for it. Especially if, pay stubs as well, you're like qualifying them for a home, but for a rental. And most people get scared when they hear that. Like, oh, well, what if I have a criminal record? And then you start talking to them, well, what kind of criminal record? Or some say like, oh, what if I had a bankruptcy a year ago? Well, what was the reason of the bankruptcy? So they either not call you anymore because they know they won't qualify, or they don't want you looking at their stuff, or they know their credit's horrible, or they don't have a good rental history. So they typically fall out. So, but always follow those steps, because if you don't follow them, it did lead me to my first mistake, which was renting too quick. I believe it was the third month we were fixing the property, and we're like, what? We gotta get some income in, So there was a young couple. They had 2 pets, a cat and a dog. And like, oh, they're really good, really good dog, really good cat. They don't do anything. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I have a long driveway all the way to the back. And he's like, well, I work construction, so, for tools' sake, I don't want to get them stolen. So he's like, can I park on the driveway? And I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. And then, your dog can run around here and there. And then they move in. All was fine first 2-3 weeks. And then I got a dog. My daughter wanted a dog, and I got a dog. And they were just clashing. They were puppies, they don't really know what they're doing, playing around. And then they started complaining about my dog was hurting their dog. And then 2 pets turned into 3 pets, 4 pets, 5 pets. And I was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, well, we're just going to have these for a month. And I was like, that wasn't part of the agreement. Eventually, this went on for about 2-3 months. Just one thing after another. And luckily, he wanted to leave. He's like, hey, you know what? This is too much for me. I didn't think it was going to be this much after the rent, the $1,400. He was paying $1,450. I was charging him $15 more for the pets, which was pretty cheap. Yeah. Anyways, And I was like, hey, you know what? We can terminate the lease. You can leave. I'll give you your deposit back. And if you can find a place, within the next 30 days, and I'm okay with that. And he ended up leaving. I got lucky on that one. He only left. The place was dirty, but I just got someone to clean it, patch up some small little holes of things they put on the walls, and then I got a great tenant, another couple with their kid, and they've been there since. So just be very careful who you use. Don't rush into things. Make sure you screen them. Make sure you go through their finances. And something I always look into is they have to make 2.5 times the rent at least minimum. Whether that's doing Uber on their job, both people work, one person works. Always do that, because if your rent is $1,400 and they make $2,000, realistically that's not a good scenario. They have $600 to buy food, gas, car payment, kids. So be very mindful of that. Okay? Don't make the mistake I made. And I watch a lot of videos too, and I made that same mistake. So just ask a lot of questions as well. But yeah, that was my first mistake, and I definitely learned from that. Any other questions?
Ready for the next slide?
Okay. So my mortgage is 2,700. 92%. So 92% of my mortgage is covered by the renters. So my only out of pocket is the utilities. That's the only caveat on that one. The back units are not permitted. So there's 1 meter in the electric and in the water, and gas. So the highest have had a high bill of $700, which is pretty high. That was electric. Electric was $700 1 month. That was the highest. Everybody's obviously running their ACs, and then on water doesn't go much than $60. Gas another $50.
So do you factor in what the? I'm guessing that they don't pay the utility bill. You pay it.
Yes.
So how they pay for it is you just add
Pretty much.
a little bit. You ask a
Yes.
little bit extra.
Yes, and eventually I want to rent out the place I'm staying and move into another one. So at that point, I would. I'm still trying to figure that one out, because I would have to either. It's going to have to go under someone's name, probably the main home, and then the bill would get split into 3. So that's something I'm still looking into, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely doable.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you, so with the money that you make on the properties, how much, or do you put aside money for, say, like rainy days, like if they need repairs, or if something needs to be fixed, or in emergency situations, and how much do you put aside every month, every year?
Not specifically for the rent, for the from the mortgages, because it covers the mortgage in full, aside from $200, which is 92%. But yes, I do have, because you're always getting sometimes the kitchen drain gets clogged, or I don't know. I had an incident where I had an incident in Cal City. Yeah, someone drove in through the garage door, so
Someone needs to drive by.
it had to get fixed. So, and I took care of it. I'm taking it out of the deposit, yes, and always ask for deposits. Don't let anybody just come in and I'll give you the first month's rent. But yes, and it's always a red flag when they ask you, well, how cheap can you? How much cheaper can it be? And this is one of the first things that one tenant that gave me issues asked me. He's like, well, if because we were still working on it, so he's like, what if I can fix this and can you deduct it from the rent? And so that was one red flag. So if you notice that, it's typically because they're going to give you issues. Yeah, not always, but many times, yes. But yeah, to answer your question, Nick, I do put some money aside because every month either have I have the gardener come in, both homes. I have maintenance, like the lady in the second unit called me that her tub was not draining well. So I got the guy to go in tomorrow at 8. It's a handyman. I've known him for a while. He's handled both properties for probably the 2-3 years that I've owned them. And you technically build a team because you have to get your person that's on the call that you call, that would be your handyman. I have Termix for both properties that spray around for insects, mosquitoes. We all know during the summertime they all come out. We have water bugs, those huge bugs that look like, they're horrible.
Look like roaches.
Yeah, horrible.
Spiders.
Spiders. So you always have something going on, and what I found also is that owning a home is pretty expensive. Maintenance, you gotta replace a water heater, something broke, you take care of it. And right now I'm managing both, which is manageable, but I know that's not sustainable once I get to 10, 20, 30 homes. I'm not gonna be running around the whole city. So eventually I'll look into property management, but for now, for the 3 doors that I have, including mine 4, I can handle them pretty well. Yeah. Does anybody do that, or does anybody thought of that or heard of house hacking before?
I
No?
thought about doing it. That's
Yeah.
probably what I want. Either flipping or doing something.
Oh, Nick was when I ran one of my units.
I was.
Yeah. I'm kind of mad at now.
You didn't pass the back or the criminal back.
Yeah, like 4 films. No, but go ahead, Nick.
I forgot. Oh, with the units, the 2 additional units in the back, is hot water an issue for is it like a shared water heater for all the units?
No, I have 2 water heaters in the property. So the back unit, the corner one, the one that you were going to be in,
Yeah.
that one has its own water heater.
Oh, okay, cool.
The main house is shared with the middle.
Shared with the middle?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. But yeah, that would be a big issue because it takes time for the water, the hot water to get all the way over there. So yeah, that's why I put a.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So, have you had a good experience with Section 8? Because I have a rental, but I've never done that before.
It's been okay. I mean, the money's always coming in, but they can be needy at times. I really haven't had a bad experience with this certain tenant. They're just needy at times. Like with the garage door, she was texting me and calling me 2-3 times a day, which is not bad. But I know what you're talking about, like horror stories that you see like on TikTok or social media.
Yeah, I've heard some weird things.
Yeah. So I mean, there's always going to be those people either way, whether you screen them or not. Unfortunately, you're going to have those outliers.
How do you run a credit check for them?
I connect them with my lender, my preferred lender.
Okay, and the lender does that?
Yep, pretty much. Connect them with the lender. Lender charges them a fee, and I pretty much don't take any money from them until they're giving the deposit and the first month's rent.
Is there some sort of criminal check?
Yes, background check.
Who does that?
I send them to a private party, a third party. Yeah, down in Palmer Boulevard and I think it's 5th Street.
Yeah, what's the name of that business?
Is it like a live scan?
Live scan, something like that, yeah. Live scan, Leslie's live scan, something like that, yeah.
And do you pay water, trash, and gardener?
Yes, water, trash. The gardening here in Palmdale, I typically cut them. The one in Cal City, I get someone else to do it, but it can get very pricey if you let the weeds. We know in Cal City the weeds grow big, and I got quotes as high as $800 one time. I got a guy that was doing it for $400, which was okay.
Per month?
No, every like 3-4 months.
Oh, okay.
But I found this other guy that do it for $200, so I'm going with him now. Yeah. So just shop around, and then, like I said, you're technically building a team: gardener, handyman, electrician, anybody.
I have a gardener in the family.
Nice. Yeah.
He's also a handyman.
Cool. Yeah. I would want to get his info.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Get a quote on him. Yeah.
So, Juan, based off your experience, would you buy Cal City again for a rental, or do you think it's a great place to
Yeah, I would buy it.
I mean, okay.
I would buy it Cal City again.
Okay. My
What about Rosemont?
Roseman too. Anywhere, honestly.
I-
If you can afford it, do it.
Nice areas
Huh?
in
Yeah.
Rosemont.
Yeah, like Nick said, if the numbers make sense, I would do it. Roseman. I was even looking in Bakersfield. Yeah, I was shopping when we had like 20 offers, so good thing, not good thing, but I didn't get my offers accepted in Bakersfield, so led me to Cal City, which I ended up getting.
It's way closer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, when you came in, was there like a lot of repairs? I know you kind of already went over a little bit, so I'll.
The Palmdale?
No, in the Cal City one.
No, Cal City was ready moving.
Ready to move in?
Yeah, ready moving. Couple of things here and there, but it was pretty much a ready moving home.
Gotcha. I just don't know if it's better to get a fixer-upper than maybe update it and rent it out, or if it's better the other way around. I gotta educate myself on it. But
Honestly, I purchased in Cal City because I was priced out here.
Okay.
My pre-approval at that time was $280. So there was a couple homes here and there popping off in Palmdale, but I never got my offer accepted. So I ended up buying that one in Cal City, and then eventually that was my plan all the time. Either way, coming back to Palmdale. But originally I was looking in Palmdale, Lancaster.
And, sorry, go ahead. No.
Because my purchase power wasn't the highest, it led me to Cal City.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then would you say it's appreciated since you bought that Cal City home? Or?
Yeah, 100,000.
Good.
100,000.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Another question.
Yeah.
So you said it was 6 to 7 months to get your Cal City home to your new home. As far as like, did you guys, was it your sister and you that came money out of pocket to buy that house?
Yes.
Or did you like cash out refi?
No. It was money out of pocket.
Money out of pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why it was so quick, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And not to ask anything they maybe don't want to answer, but
Go ahead.
you came out of pocket or did you use down payment assistance or?
So funny story. We were originally using down payment assistance. We were only going to come out with $7,000 out of pocket. Okay, cool. You know, it's perfect. It didn't go through. A week before closing, we weren't qualified anymore. The rates were going up. That's what was happening.
Okay.
Well, when the rates were going up, so we ended up having to come out from 7,000 to 34,000.
34,000?
Yeah, so that's what, four times?
Yeah.
Was the 7 just for closing and deposit or?
It was only the closing costs. They were going to cover the whole.
Okay.
It was a Chenoa loan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some of you are familiar with that. Chenoa loan. It covers your down payment, a portion of your closing costs, so you're only out of pocket like 2%.
Okay.
But it didn't go through because of the rates. So now we didn't qualify, but luckily we had the money. So we were going to use all that money to fix everything. We only ended up fixing the back units first and then focus on our unit.
Okay.
Yeah, so luckily we had that. So always have a plan B.
Yeah,
Always have a plan B.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we almost didn't close, and I thought we were going to lose it, but we didn't. So
That's good.
yeah, things happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been honestly a great experience, and that's mainly the reason I got in real estate, for the investing side. So something I've learned is duplexes get you to cooperate with the mortgage payment. So like maybe 50% if you're lucky. Triplexes, you're probably paying like 75, 25, 75. And then fourplexes, you're pretty much coming even or cash flowing. But as we all know, those are pretty hard to find, and especially getting a deal on them. Everybody's looking for a multi-family.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was under the radar. It was listed as a residential because the back units weren't permitted. So there were still multiple offers though. It was just a different market. We had to come in 25,000 over to get it. Yeah.
Okay. And so what's your ultimate goal of rental properties? If you have a certain number you want to acquire?
Well, originally when I started, I wanted to do double every year. So first I got 1, then I got 3 more doors, and then eventually I wanted to do 6. Other things came up, other scenarios, so unfortunately I put a stop to it. But this year I want to get my 3rd rental property.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm thinking out of state, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm still not 100%.
Where would you go out of state?
You can't leave.
Looking Ohio. Ohio, yeah. I've seen a lot of out-of-state investors buy out there. Ohio. What's the other one? Indiana. Yeah, there's a lot of cheap rentals. Indiana. Iowa. There's just a lot of them in the Midwest. Mm-hmm.
So-
Cheaper too.
Juan, if I could show you a way where we can give you that 3rd rental property next month,
I'm open to it.
Does that make sense to you? I mean,
I love it.
That was too close.
Any questions, guys? Any concerns? Do you guys see yourself doing this, or for some, it's not a fit for everybody. Some people like the privacy. I honestly don't mind it. I don't mind,
Also, if you're limited on income and you are looking to buy a house, if there's an ADU or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that as well.
Yeah.
That's good.
Questions, concerns? Yes.
My girlfriend has this boyfriend, and he had all these houses, and he rent rooms
Nice.
out to all these people. And I don't know how he did it, but it works,
Yeah.
you know?
That's also a way of house hack. That it's I didn't want to go that route, and I'll tell you the reason because I have a daughter, and I was just not scared, but skeptical of the privacy and all that stuff, and especially if because I don't know 4 people that are looking to rent a room, so I would put it online and see who came in. But if you have 4 or 5 friends, family members that are moving here or that you can rent to, I would do it.
I had one client who, she still does this. She buys FHA once she knows the guidelines. I think you can reuse your FHA for certain scenarios
Yes,
after
yes.
a year. And so she did this for like 4 or 5 years in a row. She'd buy a house FHA, and she would live in one of the bedrooms. She would keep one of the bedrooms as hers, and she would stop by there maybe once a week, once every couple weeks, and rent out the rest of the rooms. But she would take a small bedroom and rent out, so the master would get the most. But a lot of people will rent out here to college students and aerospace, Lockheed and Northrop, NASA.
I've also been looking into Airbnb, like how like Big Bear or.
Yeah.
I'm still learning it though. I don't know 100%, so I can't really tell you guys anything about that. But if I end up doing it, I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Lake Arrowhead.
Huh?
Lake Arrowhead. It's not a second.
Yeah. Like Arrowhead, Big Bear, pretty much anywhere. Even Ohio, that's how I got into Ohio market. They do a lot of Airbnbs, not because of, obviously there's nothing in Ohio, but I guess there's a lot of big hospitals where nurses, people from out of country go by as well to get treatments. They stay a week, 2 weeks, and they prefer them rather than the hotels. Hotels are expensive and some aren't that great. Yeah?
Anything else, guys?
Any questions, concerns?
Thank you for sharing.
That is it. First is the team's Thanks a lot.
You're
welcome,
welcome, guys.
Catch us at Value Square. That'll be the next class, I think.
One last question for you.
What's up, bro?
Before you spoke to the lender for your loan, were you not confident essentially in that in regards to even qualifying? Like, did you once you actually gave your information? Once you actually gave your information to a lender, you got the numbers back. Did you become more confident? Like, did your perspective change and opportunities open up to you, or?
Not really, and obviously I was expecting a higher pre-approval,
Yeah.
but at